know more about us. So would you like to make your own introduction first?
So, my full name is Muhammad Farel Arsha. People call me Farel. I'm 10 years old, turning 11, and I'm in Auckland, New Zealand right now, following my dad my dad PhD. Hello guys, welcome back to our YouTube channel with me, Farel.
And hello everyone, I am Arif.
So today this is our very first podcast, or very first episode of our podcast. So this podcast is trying to maintain or develop our English skills, especially like grammar, pronunciations, and etc. And yeah.
Yeah, so Farrell is right. So this podcast is designed not to show up our English, but rather to practice our English. So we practice our English through natural conversations or natural discussions. So in this podcast, we are not going to do something like a rehearsal or any preparation before. So anytime we have opportunity, or anytime we have time to practice and then take a video. So we're gonna talk and set up the camera and then just talk any topic that we want to talk about. Yes. So if you guys are watching and listening to this podcast, if you think it is worth it for you to watch and to listen, and please consider to subscribe or like and comment, so for sure. And of course for you, if who want to learn English, who are learning English as well, so you can listen to us and watch this video. So you can copy some like a pronunciation or a grammar or expressions. Okay, you think, oh, that's a good expressions. Oh, that's a good vocabulary. Oh, that's a good that's a correct pronunciation. But also, you can learn from this video or from this podcast by doing listening as well.
If you don't know a word, you can search it up in dictionary and like try pronouncing it, so you really understand what it means and how to pronounce it.
Yeah.
And you could probably
that's one. So make it closer to you. Yeah. So again, you can also do something like error
analysis.
Yeah, error analysis. So say for example, you want to focus on error analysis from our conversation. Yeah, say for example, that's not correct pronunciation. Then you try to search up in a YouTube or in a dictionary, and then you try to compare which one is the correct pronunciations, or which one do you think a better pronunciation. So yeah, and also the grammar, for example, the grammar. You can learn also. You can also learn grammar from our
discussions.
Yeah, from our natural conversations of this one. So say for example, you try to analyze the structure or the grammar that we are using. Oh, that's say for example, that's
American.
Okay.
UK-ish.
Okay. So whether we are using British accent or American accent or British English or American English or mixed, or it's not kind of, or we are not speaking like a British or American English, or there's a kind of Kiwi English, for example. Okay, so you can learn from that as well. Okay, so what are we going to be talking today then?
So we're going to talk about ourselves.
Yes, you're right. So I think it's a good idea for us to talk about ourselves, because this is our first episode in our podcast, so it's better for us to introduce ourselves first, so you can understand, also you can know better or know more about us. So would you like to make your own introduction first?
So my full name is Muhammad Farel Arsha. People call me Farel. In this country, other countries are like different. I'm 10 years old, turning 11, and I'm in Auckland, New Zealand right now, following my dad at my dad PhD. But he finished, of course. And watch that video, the graduation one. It's on the description down below.
Oh yeah, but anyway, I haven't uploaded that video there.
Oh, you're right.
Yeah, but okay, it's gonna
come soon, guys.
Yeah, it's gonna come
Of
soon.
course, it's gonna
So
come soon.
you're gonna watch how the graduation day for us like. Okay, so I am Abdul Arif. People call me Arif. But that is when I am in Indonesia, and also when I moved to New Zealand. And then come to New Zealand for the first time, and I make my own introductions to people, and then I say, please call me Arif. But again, people in New Zealand try to call me Abdul, because this is the culture. So that's the culture. So a Western culture, something like to call our
first name
rather than a second name. So that's the thing. So you just call me Arif then. Okay. Now we're gonna be talking about, where are we now actually? Yeah.
Oh, we're in Auckland, New Zealand. So how we got here is by my dad.
Yeah. So we are in Auckland, one of the cities, one of the biggest cities in New Zealand. So Auckland is. It was like the capital city of New Zealand a couple of years ago.
And
before
then it changed to Wellington.
It changed to Wellington, or moved to Wellington.
Of course.
Yeah. So do you still remember what year we arrived in New Zealand?
I think I arrived here when I was like year 1.
Year 1. I mean, what year?
Oh,
Still remember what year?
2016.
Yes, you are right, 2016. So you firstly arrived in New Zealand in 2016, but me arrived in here in 2015, like late of the year, a year before. So I came here in September, in September 2015, and then I started by taking English course before enrolled to my PhD, and then a couple of months later, like in December or January.
I came here.
Yeah, January. So yeah, in December I went back home to Indonesia, and then bring my family, including Farel, to Auckland, to New Zealand. So we both, we arrived in New Zealand at that time, in Auckland at that time in 2016. Yeah. Okay, so this is our introduction. So if you guys want to know more about me, you just
like comment down below why.
Yeah, comment down below.
Like what you're gonna ask about us, and we'll hopefully look at the comments, and we'll definitely reply.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, so we love to replying and give a response to, and giving a response to your comments.
Of course.
Okay, again, so the idea behind of this podcast is that again to keep practicing our English.
Yes.
Hopefully we can get more motivations by doing this podcast and practicing English in a podcast in English through video, and then uploading, and then we get comment or feedback or correction from our from you guys for sure. Again, the idea behind this podcast is that you remember what year did you went home to Indonesia?
I think I went year 2.
Yeah, when you are year 2, right?
Yeah.
It seems that in 2019, I guess, 2019. So after 3 years living in New Zealand, 3 years or 4 years? 3 years, I guess.
3 years, yeah.
3 years, almost 4 years.
Of course.
Living in New Zealand. So Farrell went home to Indonesia and continued to his
Indonesian.
Primary
school.
Primary school in Indonesia, and then also, of course, you got new friends
and my friends didn't really understand what I was saying because like I just came here and I didn't know really how to speak Indonesian, and then like in a few months I think I lost a little bit of my English.
Yes.
And I couldn't really talk. And then like when we were doing this English test, I was rushing it because I thought I was good at it until like the teacher just called my mom and said I had to do my test again because I got some of them wrong.
That's not funny.
Yeah, that's not funny.
Yeah, so I'm thinking that you really feel that you are learning English actually, right? Because you learn English just from school and the immersions. You know, I remember that time you went to daycare, right?
Oh yeah.
When you were how old were you at that time when you went to?
I was like 3 or 4.
Yeah, 3 years old, I guess, at that time. So when you were 3 years old, so he went to daycare.
Yeah.
And of course you didn't speak English at that time, right?
Nope.
Yeah. But you speak, what language did you speak before that?
Indonesian?
Yeah, Indonesians and something like a Malay. Yeah, Malay. And
because
then
I watched too much like this Malaysian TV show that
Malaysian TV show. What is that called?
It's called Upin and Ipin.
Yes, and at the same time, the Malay language used by Upin Ipin is almost the same with not Indonesian. Indonesian, but particularly the language we use in Pontianak. Okay, so we forget to tell the audience that we are from Pontianak, West Kalimantan, Indonesia.
Of course.
Yeah, West Kalimantan, Pontianak. So in Pontianak, Malay language is commonly used, so which is almost similar to Upin Ipin language. So that time. Again, so back to about you. So you went here when you were 3 years old, right? And you went to a daycare, and you learned and picked up English from that school or from daycare.
And I got this friend. His name was Badia. And then like we're still friends until this day.
Yeah, until this day. Yes. Yeah.
Same
right.
school. Same like when we were from daycare, we moved to like primary school, and then so we met each other and we were like, whoa, oh my god.
Yes, you're right. So the difference between us is that you picked up and learned English from playing. From playing and engaging in your school. But for me, it's a little bit different. So you are learning English in English country, and you learn English from native speakers, right?
Of course.
While me, I learn English from at school, and in a very formal situations like a school and course for sure. And I learned from something like imitation, drilling and memorizing. Something kind of
Was it hard?
Deliberate learning.
Was it hard?
Yes, it's very hard, and I know, and that is why, because I know and I feel that learning English is difficult. It's very, very, very difficult, and that it is worthwhile for you to keep maintaining, develop, and practice your English. And then this is the idea behind of our podcast.
For today.
Yeah, for today. And at the time, when you were in Indonesia at that time, I encouraged you to speak more English actually, right?
Yeah.
To keep speaking English, even at least at home with mom, with mommy or with me,
Yeah.
right at that time. But
Yeah,
what happened then?
I argued that why should I speak English? Like, if I'm in a different country and no one really speaks it, and why
Yeah.
can't I speak the Malaysian or like Indonesian like language, stuff like that?
Yeah. Yes, you are right. I keep arguing. We keep arguing
Yeah.
each other at that time. Feral, please keep practicing your English.
It's
Keep using
useful.
English because it's useful for you in the future. You know how hard Daddy learned English, but then why do I have to speak English? I don't need to. I just need to play with my friends and get friends and then engage with my friends
And then learn Indonesian.
and learn Indonesian. And that's what we can learn from that is that how important motivation is in learning English.
Yeah.
So your motivations maybe not strong enough at that time too.
Yeah.
When you were in Indonesia, I'm talking when you were in Indonesia. So probably your motivation is not strong enough to speak English because your motivation is different already.
Yeah,
Your
way
motivation is that engaging with your friends,
learning Indonesian,
learning Indonesian,
watching Upin Ipin. and
yeah,
like
watching a movie that is not English.
Because there's no really English TV shows, right?
Yes, yeah, right. And it was totally different when you first time came to New Zealand and you didn't speak English at all at that time. And then I'm pretty sure at that time you try to motivate yourself by listening, seeing to other people, right? And because at that time you might be thinking that you need to be able to speak English at that time, but you didn't express it, right?
Yeah.
Because you need to engage with your friends.
Yes, of course.
And you want to get more friends. And of course you have to use English in order to do that, right? Yeah. So that is why how important motivation is in learning learning language, any language or English.
Yeah.
It took you like 5 or 6 months to learn English or to pick up English and then speak English.
Yeah.
I still remember that time. It takes a little bit longer for you to in order to be able to speak English and pick up the English, because I remember that time your close friends was a guy or a boy or a little kid from Japan at that time, and then he also learned English at that time.
Yeah. Oh yeah, Soma.
Yeah, Soma. Yeah, I remember. And what happened at that time?
I think he left, right?
Yeah, and at that time you play much with him, right?
I did play much with him.
Yeah.
And also played with Bardia. Didn't really like the school because I had to eat these vegetables, which I don't like.
Yeah. So yes, you're right. So instead of speaking English and then exposed to English more, you have I think he's from Japan nation, and then he also learned English as a second language, right?
Yes.
So that is why it takes a little bit longer for him to be able to speak English. Normally, a kid or a child coming to English environment, and then the kids firstly do know any English. They normally could speak. Could speak English like within 3 or 4 months.
Yeah.
But it took longer for you because because you have a very close friend that you were used to playing with him a lot. So like you stay like 6 to 8 hours at school, but
I still do.
and you spend most of the time with him.
Yeah.
That's the thing.
And this is the end of our first episode of our podcast. So if this video is worth a like or a subscribe, then please do it, because we really appreciate it. And then of course comment.
Yes,
Of course.
right.
Yeah.
So this is the end of our podcast again. This is the
Yeah.
end of our podcast today, and this is our first podcast. And we're gonna upload, and we're gonna do some other podcasts. Some other podcasts, and probably not always in here, but probably somewhere else, and outside area, outdoor or indoor. So we're gonna do some vlogging, but of course in English. Again, it's your time for you guys and for us to listen to and watch this video, and we're gonna try to analyze what we have to improve, what we need to improve. Something like doing error analysis or self-awareness. For us to say, for example, Arif, Feral, you speak too fast, for example.
I could improve.
Yeah, we can improve that. Or say, for example, that's not correct grammar. I think we have to change that into blah 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 blah. Yeah, and for you guys also can do that. Again, for us, it is okay. Feedback is more important for us here. So comment down below, and then I will appreciate it very much if you can try to correct my English, in our English for sure.
And we might bring like my mom and my sister.
Yes, literally, sometime to another podcast with us. Okay. All right. I will see you in the next podcast or next video. See ya. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Thank you.
Thank you
guys. If this video reaches 200,000 likes, I would get a mohawk. If you don't know what that is, okay, show the photo. And then you show. Okay, see you, bye. See you guys.